Hi, this is Jonathan, Customer Experience Manager here at SimplyCast.com. Today we're going to talk about setting up a fax campaign. To set up your fax campaign, we want to go to the fax dashboard. So I'm just going to click on the More tab here in the application, and then just add fax to the main menu. I'm just going to click on the menu here, and then select New Project. So now I'm going to give my fax project a name. So let's call it Fax Test. And I'm just going to click on Next to proceed to the next step. So here we are on the design page of the fax. And you have three different options here. You can create a fax from a PDF document, an HTML document, and you can also insert a cover page element. The first thing I'm going to do is use a PDF document for my content. So to do that, I'm just going to click on it and then drag it down. As soon as I drag the PDF document, a window opens up here that allows me to upload a PDF using the upload button here, or I can select a PDF that I already have in the system. I'm going to choose the PDF I've already uploaded called My PDF. And to insert it, I'm just going to double click on it. You'll notice that the system is going to generate a small preview here that shows the content that I've uploaded. If I want to insert a cover page, I can drag the cover page element down and drop it. So now it's going to insert a cover page element that I can modify. But before I do that, I want the cover page to be the first page of my fax. So I'm just going to click on it and drag it over to the left. The order here is important, so it assumes that the left-hand document's the first page, then the PDF document, and then so on and so forth as you drag more elements in here. So to modify my cover page, I'm just going to move my mouse over it and then click on the small icon here that looks like a paintbrush. So here we are in the cover page editor, and this is where you can make modifications to the cover page to fit your fax content. In addition to just modifying this information, you can also merge in information. So if you have a person's name along with their fax number, you could actually merge that data into the system by, for example, I'm going to merge the to field. So I'm going to click here by to, and you'll see my little flashing cursor here. And I'm going to go up to the merge drop-down box. And here I'm just going to insert name, because name is the field that I'm using for the names of people in my fax list. So you'll notice it'll put in a variable here that has %% name %%. And that's a placeholder. So when we merge in information, each person's name is going to appear here as the system faxes. So if I was done editing, I would go down here and hit save and exit. So now we can see our fax cover page has been generated with the changes that we've made. If I want to use an HTML document, I can drag it and drop it into the message here. And you'll notice the editor is very similar to the cover page editor. So if we wanted to make changes, we would just click on the paintbrush icon again. So here we are in the message editor. So the principle of this editor is the same as the cover page editor, where you can click in this box here and then type in content that you want to use. So when you're done editing, you just click save and exit. So let's say I didn't want to include an HTML document that I created. To delete it, I just move my cursor over it and then select the trash can icon here. And the system will provide me with a confirmation here, so I'm going to say OK. So now that we've deleted the HTML document, we're ready to preview and send our campaign here. To preview the campaign, click on the Preview Campaign button on the left-hand side. The system will then open up a window that'll display the information in your campaign. So now we have the fax preview. So on this page, you'll notice there's the cover page, the very first page, and then if we scroll down, we'll see the fax content. So that's my PDF. That's the second page of this fax. If I had a name field filled out in my list, the name field would merge right here. But the list that's selected, called test list, doesn't have any information in the name field. so the system leaves it blank. So now that we've had a look at our preview, we can click on the little close button in the top right. Now we're ready to send the campaign. To send the campaign, click on Next in the bottom right. And when you click on the Next button, the system will automatically save the content from the page that you're on. So here we are on the scheduling page, and you've got a number of different options here. The first thing that we'll need to do to send our campaign is to fill out the sender name. And the sender name is going to be displayed at the top of the fax. So I'll just say SimplyCast. So the next element we have to fill out is the TSID, which is basically the number that the fax is coming from. The technical term for it would be transmitting subscriber identifier. So the phone number. So let's pretend the fax number that we're sending from is, we'll say 555-555-5555. So if that was our legitimate fax number, we would enter it there in our TSID field. The next item we have to enter is the number of retries. And one of the great things about our platform is we only charge you for faxes that are successfully delivered. So I recommend going with 2 retries, just in case you run into fax machines that are busy or perhaps unreachable for whatever reason the first time through. This way the system will try a few other times to get the fax information delivered. Next, we want to go and select our schedule type. So by default, the fax is set up to send it right now. But we have a few other options that we can take advantage of. If we choose schedule, we can put in a specific date and time, as well as a time zone, which we can change just by clicking on the box here. There's also a segmented option. And when you click on this option, you can actually break up your list into different segments. So, for example, the list I'm using is very small. It's just a test list. But let's say I wanted to add we'll add a new segment here. So if I add a new segment, I can specify the size of the segment and the date and time in which the segment is going to be sent, which is really handy if you have a lot of fax numbers in your list. So you could actually break it up into smaller chunks and then send it on the dates and times that you want them to go out. This is also good if you're worried about only sending during certain parts of the day. If you've got a list that contains, let's say you've got hundreds of thousands of fax numbers, you would probably want to break them up into smaller chunks of a few thousand apiece, and then you have greater control over when those faxes will be sent. So to proceed, I'm just going to go with the Send Now option for now. So now that we've chosen the schedule option we want, we have to select the list that we want to use. And I've got a list in here called Test List that I'm going to select. But if you want to add a different list here, you can click on the Edit Upload List button, and that'll take you to the list management system. We can also set up additional sending restrictions. So in addition to the different segments that we talked about in the schedule section up here, we can click on the advanced slider here and be able to actually further restrict the times and the dates of the send. So I could say I only want faxes to send between, let's say 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And let's say we only want faxes to send during the week. So let's say we don't want them to send on Saturday or Sunday. We can just click on those options. So now the system is set up only to send Monday through Friday between 11 and 3 o'clock p.m. So if we chose the Send Now option and we didn't use the segment, the system will be restricted to these times and these days. So if you had a really large fax number, the system will avoid sending during or outside of these hours here and these days. So I'm just going to click on Next to continue. So here we are on the review checklist. So this page is going to give us an overview of our fax. So we're going to be able to see if there's anything left that we have to do. When you see green check boxes, it means that everything is okay. So we can see in our design here, we've got that all completed. We've got our scheduling settings completed. And we can check our usage estimate at the bottom. So right now it's saying my estimated cost is 12 cents. So it's important to note that we charge on a per page basis. So I have a 2-page fax, which is going to be 6 cents per number. So that's why it's going to cost us 12 cents. And our system assumes when you first schedule the campaign that we're going to be able to deliver 100% of the fax messages. If there are any undelivered messages, the system will return any unused credit back to your account at the end of the campaign. When you go to purchase a fax plan, this is also important to keep in mind because the price estimates that we have on the purchase page, on the buy page, are based on a single page fax. So now that we're happy with this, we can click on the complete project button on the bottom right. There, success. So we've now scheduled our fax campaign. And you can see it here in the management tab of the fax system. If for any reason you want to abort the campaign you've just scheduled, you can click on the cancel button here and the system will abort it. So we'll say, in this case, we'll just say okay. There, and we've successfully aborted the campaign that we scheduled. And you'll notice that the system has now returned the credit I've used as well. If you have any additional questions, feel free to check out our FAQs or send us an email to support@simplycast.com. Thanks for watching.